See, we live? Chat, someone confirm, please. This is one of the biggest test servers that I've seen in a long time. Just gonna let you guys know this first of all. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Just gonna start a bit early here, wait for people to get in. Basil, welcome. Good Storms, Mr. XD, Humongous, welcome. Lots of dudes here already. Very nice to see. While we wait for everybody, I'm just gonna... So... I'm just gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go here, then I'm gonna go to that. Right, I just put some EQ on my sound, so can someone just tell me if this doesn't sound completely horrible because I can't hear it myself? Jorge, welcome. Black Crown, Frigobag, Captain, Yuanka, welcome to stream, everybody. So just want to start out by going here so we can check out. Sound works, sound good, beautiful, nice, very nice. Okay, so let's bring up this one first of all. Gonna put this there. We're gonna look at this. So this is the new upcoming 0.12.50 patch, the Drone Apocalypse. So first of all, the Drone Apocalypse will be returning. Now, we're gonna get to the stuff. Let's just, as we always do, cover it from A to B, right? So the little boy cannon, little reduction to durability. Spitfires, don't really care so much about that. Epic crossbow, the Phoenix reload time reduced by 10%. It's nice to see that they're the weapons that are often just forgotten and that they keep forgetting is also slowly being touched upon. Yaoguai drone durability increased by 50% to increase its survivability and correct its short lifespan in combat conditions. The Yaoguai, is that the epic or the legendary? Okay, it's the epic. Well, that's dope. Capcane, mine fire rate reduced by 25%. Now the rope doesn't affect faster vehicles that much. This change is directed primarily towards fast vehicles. Now they will not break so sharply when they're caught by the Capcane mine, and reducing the mining's firing rate will reduce the number of situations when the mine almost immediately fastened a new rope after the previous one was cut. So they changed the Capcane to be good against fast builds, which is often wheel builds, light wheel builds. And while they still don't seem to work the way that they're intended to, they actually seem to be working better than what they did before. And now they're basically just reverting this, but also, you know, we still have the change where they don't bind hard vehicles, or heavy vehicles, I mean, sorry, that much anymore. So now the Capcane is just going to be less useful against the only thing that they were supposed to counter, which makes little sense to me. This is effectively only gonna make it good against something like Omni wheels, I think, and hovers. Omni wheels and hovers, which are both going to be light builds probably. So, I mean, I don't know. But with the changes, we're going to get to those, but the changes to hovers is going to probably mean that hovers are dead, meaning that, you know, if you play them, you're going to be even more squishy, so dogs is going to have an even more easy life now. And I'm fine with hovers getting nerfed. They can nerf them even more if they want to, because I don't think this is the way to nerf them. We should get back to those really squishy hovers, in my opinion. But they also need to bring down some of their counters if that's what they want to do. And they're not going to do that, I can say that much. But again, we're going to get to it soon. Then we have the Caucasus getting another nerf, which I'm still fine with. It's a weapon that you don't have to aim with at all. It's a terrible, retarded weapon, and if you play it, you should be offended. But besides that, then we have the Cap in the Dusk. The bonus damage from the perk is reduced. I think a lot of people are going to be happy about this, myself included. I think that's a nice change because the cabin is insanely strong. Enlightenment reduces the system's reloading time, which is also dope. I see a few people who runs these, so they might have some place in there. The Anabi cabin. Now the cabin's perk bonus works with all damage types. Alright, so everything will get buffed by this now. The Fuse Drone, number of launches increased by 2. Alright. Radar Verifier. Radar reload time increased from 30 to 35. Great. Capcan will not be broken by against big spiders. Yeah, they will still do that. They won't touch anything there. Yeah, exactly, because the Capcans can't catch all of those, like breaker builds and stuff, and small tracks are the shit right now, so I really need to get a haircut soon. Holy shit, this is a fucking mess. It's just gonna be like this now, I don't care. Armor track driving with these tracks have become less twitchy, improved surface grip. Improved surface grip, okay, I just need to see something here quickly. Armor track. Something has me thinking that, are these gonna flip even more now? You're not on a build like this, but if we have one of those that are decently fast, this is also only 60, but it's a bit more top heavy, so I would imagine if this is more surface grip now, I wonder if that means A, they're gonna be bound to the ground more, which actually seems like they are. Don't ram into me. It's funny because there's something about these. It seems like they're not flipping as easily anymore. That's actually kind of interesting. This one is big. This one is so big. Go sell your boosters if you haven't already done it. I'm so excited for this one. I mean, people are probably still gonna run boosters because 50% damage increase with all those weapons is still gonna be a lot. But they're not gonna be as fast, and that's actually also a huge change because it's gonna be so much easier to counter it. I do agree, I said this myself, actually take it out of the game until they find a balancing way for it, and that's gonna be through test servers and giving us the opportunity to play Leviathan builds in custom battles, because then we can actually test it out and see what it's like. This is a change that we can't do anything about. We can't use this for anything because we can't test it. Unless I'm saying too much here and they actually did do... What the hell is this? Oh shit. So apparently we can't do that, but that's alright. Favorite cabin. Now in order to charge the perk, you need to drive 20% less distance and the duration of the perk has been reduced. That's pretty dope. That's actually nice. So you're gonna have it more often, but it's not gonna be active for as long when you have it. That's pretty dope. So here's the hover change. It's interesting. I don't know what I think about it, but we're getting there. At least for the part where I think some of the dudes that I usually play with, what they want them to be like. So this is one of my old hovers. It was decent before. Oh my god, it's slow. Oh god. Look at the strafing speed. It's literally a boat. So you see, the thing that they've done now is that they've given them more. I really think we should remove that, to be very honest with you. What if we just did something else? Let me remove these. They want us to use less hovers now on builds, which is a step towards what they were before, right? So this could be a build you would run now, which is then just 1, 2, 3, 4 hovers. And with just 4 hovers, of course, this is not going to be the hover setup because this would be retarded judging by the shape of it and the way that we place hovers. But now 4 hovers equals to 16,000 if you have a echo with a cabin tonnage fusion on it. Which means that this is somewhat, almost, not completely, but somewhat as fast as before. It's still a bit more sloppy than it was. Really, the Repsy? Really? But it's definitely steerable. So this is gonna hurt not only the big hovers, this is also gonna hurt seal clipping hovers, because seal clipping hovers are not gonna be as fast, nowhere near as fast. And that's a decent change. Did they buff the tonnage? Yeah, they did. They did. So tonnage is going to be more than doubled, okay? More than doubled. So you're going to get a lot more tonnage. So you can straight up just go ahead and remove hovers. This also means that if you have less hovers, I mean, here you're going to have to remove half of your hovers pretty much, because they almost double the power consumption and the tonnage. Now, the issue that I have with this is that they don't double, or just somewhat double, the durability of the hovers, because the durability is still only going to be 200. All right? So with 200 durability in these, it's still going to be super scuffed whenever you fly around. And I don't think that's a good idea by any means, because you're gonna, if you play against the Mandrake, your hover is dead like this. If you were lucky, you would actually be able to keep just a couple of your hovers beforehand, but those days are over, dudes. Those days are over. That's not gonna happen anymore. You're not going to be able to keep any hovers anymore. And then we have the next change, which is wheels. And you see what happens if I put wheels on my hover now? Bam. We're put to the ground. Alright. Then we're fully put to the ground, which is a super dope change. So you won't be able to do this anymore. You won't be able to put wheels on it anymore. And the compensation for this is the fact that we've been getting all of this extra tonnage. So the hover can now be a movement part on its own. And I think that's fine. I think that's definitely what we should move towards. Having to use those freaking wheels on hover builds is not the most fun idea that you can encounter. So because of that, I think it's a great idea. That is the situation at the moment. And the same goes for the VI, or the white hovers, sorry, or the blue hovers. This is the orange one. So they're also going to distinct those more. Actually, shit, I didn't even notice that. But it's pretty much the same concept. You know, here we don't totally get the same increase in tonnage, but we also don't drain as much power. So this is only going to be 10% power drain now. But again, durability just not increased by any miles at all. Like it makes no sense that they buff the durability. How much is this? Is it 20%? So 20% power, but 100% increase in power consumption and a 50% somewhat increase in there. Boosting the cockpit? They're not boosting the cockpit, dude. They're nerfing the cockpit. What do you mean? So we're gonna have to rethink the way that people play hovers if they want to keep playing hovers. I'm just gonna remove this. Wait, actually, I'm just gonna synchronize. Let me just go here quickly. I'm just gonna synchronize my account data so that we can get my updated builds in here. That way it'll be a little bit easier to just see what they're all about. All right, good stuff. Then just gonna go here again and read the last of it. So the Reaper maximum spread in motion reduced by 10%, and the Kaiju increased reloading time from 2.5 to 3.8 seconds. So quite a lot of extra. You haven't missed much, dude, so don't worry about it. Annihilated drone. Now when dealing damage, the drone reduces the cabin power by 5% instead of 6%. That's also all right. The Yuboko. Now the mine layer has a limited ammunition 18. The distance at which the attached wire rope breaks is increased by 50%. All right, so that is all of the changes. Let's go check them all out. Why am I so far down? There we are. That's better. Now, I'm mostly curious to see, let's see, what can this thing do? Right, so this one still feels all right. And the reason that these still feel all right somewhat is because that they have changed the inertia of the hovers as well. Basically, that means like the responsiveness, I think, is the most easy way to explain that. So the general responsiveness has also been increased in order to sort of combat the change to, what's that called? The change to the power consumption, basically. So on hovers like this, where you have a cabin with a super high power base, then you'll still be able to fly. Right? So for example, if we were to play, on the other hand, with just an epic cabin, then I'm sure that we would feel the difference. Let's just get rid of that. And let's see, what's a usual seal clubbing build? It's like this together with executionist. Something like this, right? That's a lot of hovers though. There, this. And I don't know if you can see this, but these are definitely slower. How is it? No, what? Hovers can move better now? No, they can't. They can move worse. Dudes. You gotta follow here. This fucking camera is bothering me like hell. My entire setup is actually bothering me like hell. It's not completely finished yet, okay? Here we are, after we moved. There we go. So, you see this? You can definitely see that this hover is less responsive than it was before. Right? Which is good. That's nice. That is very nice. That is very nice. Not a dude. It's just a general thing I say. I say dude a lot. That's on me. But yeah, you can really see just how different this is. Also, hovers are mounted like this. It's from an old test server, so don't worry. Everyone will fuse for power. Yeah, it's gonna be very important. And that's sort of... It's definitely a change. I'm wondering how we should do this now. Way more than enough tonnage in this thing. So this would be a 6 hover layout. Just play around with this for a bit. There we are. So 6 hovers, and we actually still have quite a lot of keybinds. So while it doesn't feel all that different, I mean, I think I would even just go one hover here now. I don't even know. Or maybe turn these around. It's gonna give us a bit of a better angle there. Let's just try taking this to battle for some... With Tsunami and Typhoon hovers, we will have more inertia. Yeah, but on the other hand, you will also have much more power drain. So if you don't rebuild, then you're gonna be very, very slow. Yeah. They're not affected all that much. The only thing they're forcing us to do is just to take less hovers. And the amount of less hovers that they're forcing us to bring is why I want to argue that I don't think that they should double the value of hover health, because then that's going to bring them back to when you couldn't shoot hovers off, and that's not what you want either. But increasing from 135 to 200 is, in my opinion, a much better change than increasing from 135 to, what's that called? 165, and then they could increase the red hovers even more and make those sort of tank hovers, if you know what I mean, because the power drain is massive on them. So I don't see many places for those actually being relevant. But you are only a tiny bit out. Jesus Christ, the bots in this game. You are only a tiny bit less responsive now, but this build is 100% surely less responsive than it was before. That's for sure. I am getting sniped by so many bots here. I'm just gonna close so that we don't become the main focus of them anymore. Be so dope. And this is such a shit show. Oh, what's that? Someone is actually shooting us with freaking Phoenix rockets. Oh, we just lost a couple of others there. So, okay, the less responsiveness, you feel it. I think it's a step in the right direction. I want hovers to become those squishy things again. I just don't want it to become squishy hovers, but also super freaking slow, because that just don't go well together. Blast cannons should be fast and should be rewarded for swift movements and nice juking, basically, in my opinion, at least. What you're gonna have to do here, in order, the best and most effective way to combat this, like, really drastic power drain is to play heavy cabin still, because the more those heavy cabins have more power as a base, and if they have more power, well, that also means that you're gonna be able to combat that power drain better. So the light cabins will have less of a place if this is the way that they're gonna go. And I mean, I feel like there is some conflict there, since the devs also want to go away from the big hovers. How much HP does this guy have? It's actually madness. I'm running out of shots here because they're giving us all tank bots. But I'm gonna try to just bring in a heavy hover afterwards. I think we're gonna see if we can make, like, I don't know, just a very big fat... Is this guy running drones? Oh, yes, he is. Oh my god. How horrible is that? Well, we should try... I don't even know if it's better to just go for a cohort, because the cohort is like a power... Bots in this game, man. Oops. The cohort is probably the cabin that we're gonna get with the most power. It's also the thickest one. I only have 2 shots left. Can we repair and then get, like, those back? I don't think we can. Just gonna read chat while we repair. Fusion event in April. I have no idea. I'm not in control of that. But the thing is, as I said, heavy cabins is probably going to be way better for builds like this. If we just remove the cabin here and remove this also, and then we should have room for most cabins in here. Gonna take a frame so that we're sure that these can all connect. There we are. So let's try putting the cohort in here. See that? I don't really know if you can tell for sure, but it definitely feels more responsive than the Griffin, to be honest with you. It turns quicker. Yeah, definitely turns quicker with the cohort. So that's kind of my fear with this change, is that it's one step forward for hovers, but it's also 2 steps backwards. You know what I mean? The icebox here actually just feels even worse than it did before, which is because I think we need to play like the bigger cabins, the better, basically. I honestly think the Yokozuna is going to be the best cabin if you just want a fast, agile hover now. But it's heavy, so why are they buffing hover? They're not buffing hovers. But you see the turn out of the garage here compared to a Griffin. How slow it is, and if you go to legend or epic cabins, because epic cabins just by default have less. You see that? It's a rather severe change. Don't even know. Do we have a humpback with power? Here, are these? We have a bastion with power, but that's too thick to go here. Photon with power, which actually feels decently fast. Yeah, the Beholder is power as well, but it's also a legendary cabin, so it's of course going to be fast. That still feels decently alright. But it is also a medium cabin, so it will have a higher base power compared to something like the Griffin. Or 2, 4, 5.5. 2, 4, 6.5. Yeah. So as far as builds goes, we can potentially get back to 4 hovers. Look at this. This is 4 hovers. 4 hovers. Still pretty good speed. And the 4 hovers that I got on here now can easily carry the weight of this. But if that's what they want us to play, I don't get why they only increase the durability of the hovers by 30 when they double on the power drain, for example. So less than 20% increase in, or about 20% increase in durability, but 100% increase in power consumption. In my opinion, and I don't know, you guys don't have to agree with this, but in my opinion, if they double the power and almost double the tonnage, meaning that we have to, you know, use way less hovers, then they also have to increase the durability. And again, I am very, very okay with them changing hovers. It's not like I don't want them to do that, because they are by far the most dominant movement part, because they can just strafe around people for literal days, and it's gonna counter it a lot with less strafing around others if they do this. So I think that's great. That's great by itself that they're doing this. But it's still just, you know, why not just change them back to what they were during something like when they were introduced, and it was like 4 hovers, no more. Or what they were like around a year and a half ago when hovers was again limited to 4 hovers. If you had more, then the power drain would just be massive. Hovers were pretty dope back then. Exactly, Mr. XD. The thing is that you can't afford to lose any hovers. And if it becomes that essential, I mean, then it should be that essential for hermits as well, for example, because the hermits are, or small tracks for that matter. But you can easily run 6-8 small tracks without getting punished for it. But I'm kind of lost for how, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm kind of lost for how you can change this so that it becomes fair for everybody. Because I don't know if you guys think it might be overpowered then, and if you gave the Icarus, you know, more durability than the 30 that they want to give them right now. Because I don't think it's the fact that they are hovering, but it's the inertia compared to the omnidirectional movement that you have. You can move in any direction, and you can kite people backwards while you shoot them. You can move to the side while you still shoot them, and you can't do that with something like wheels. So of course they also have to have a downside. But if they want them to be this squishy and force us to play no more than 4, they have to make them faster, so that you have a fair chance of juking things that will be able to take your hovers otherwise. And the thing is, we could create a build where the hovers were just super tightly packed in here, and you know, you would just move all of them in there. But the thing is just also, if you create that narrow of a profile with just 4 hovers, then the build is just gonna tip over due to the ammo. And I feel like that's not an effect you want either. So yeah, I don't know. I get why it's hard to nerf this or change this. See that if we just do something like this, just gotta get the balance back as well. We go there, good. Can I put the other one over here somewhere? Did I just straight up delete it? No, I didn't. Then why not there? And just put the verifier there. It's fine. We're just testing right now, chat. Don't forget that. There we are. All right. So see, then we have this profile of hovers instead, which is gonna give us a nice fast build. But the thing is, you also see the lean that they get then. See how it's sort of swerving there? You can't really see it, but yeah, you can see now how it's wobbling from side to side because you don't have a stable base. And that's just gonna mess up your aim if you're playing any weapon, basically. And you're gonna lose all your movement parts so quickly. So it's sketchy. You get major punishments with small tracks, but you also get major bonuses. Because if you're on something like small tracks, you'll be able to turn at 90 miles per hour, or kilometers per second, sorry. Grab something like this build. This is 7 hovers or tracks, and the fact that you can just chase one around and turn like this without losing any speed at all. No, we are on YouTube right now, dude. You're commenting on YouTube. Hovers outrun, that's just a blatant lie. That's not true. This goes 790, hover goes 75. So they don't outrun small tracks. They don't. That's just not true, dude. Did I miss the Kaiju nerf? Less hover means that you can't lose any of them. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. You guys can go read the changes here. We went through them already, so I'm not going to go through all of them again. That's going to be a bit too repetitive. What was nerfed about the Kaiju? So we haven't looked at the Kaiju yet, actually, but we can just go pull a build here. I'm hoping that there is someone who uploaded a Kaiju to the exhibition because I don't have to build one then. Oh gosh. Let's see, someone did. Nice. What the hell is this? Wait, I kind of want to test drive this because I love it how quickly people come up with ideas to change this. But basically the Kaiju. Now, once we fired, reload is going to be 3.8 seconds instead of 2.5. Effectively, while you're playing your sniper game, I don't think it's going to do too much. Because at the end of the day, you can still just go peek and wait for as long as you want. And then the gun goes and reloads, so you just peek a little less. Of course, that's going to hit your DPS quite harder in DPM, so it's not going to make it as strong and dominant, but still, it's not going to do something about the playstyle, which in my opinion is probably the biggest issue with the Kaiju right now, because the playstyle is what hurts this the most. Basically, the playstyle is that you can just charge your gun, and if I'm trading with an enemy over there, if he takes a minute before he goes and peek, I can just sit here with my mouse button down for a minute, and the second I see him peek, then I'll go blast him and I'll go back to cover. So I don't have to do anything at all besides that. In my opinion, they should give it a bit like with the assemblers. If you heat it for too long, or if you hold it down for too long, well, then the weapon is gonna overheat and you can't shoot. I feel like they should give the Kaiju somewhat of the same perk, so you can't just sit there with your mouse button down and wait for someone to peek around the corner. But why do you need to catch a hover? Why not kill him from range? Then I assume that the only thing you're doing is playing melee, and then I mean, utilize the fact that skinners are broken as shit or something like that, like everyone else does. Because at the end of the day, if a hover can't get away from a melee, well, if you play incinerators, then why do you need to catch the hover? Just kill him from range. That makes no sense. Because if they make hovers this squishy and they only want us to use 4 or 5, then the fast movement and the quick maneuverability is the only thing that hovers have left to offer, which is also what they should offer in my opinion. Can't kill them from range? Yes, you can. Incinerators is a terrible weapon to try to do so. Incinerators is not the best weapon altogether. Like, few people play it because it's just not very viable. So you're gonna be able to kill a big fat spider, but incinerators are not made to kill small fast builds. So if your weapon don't kill the hovers, then every single weapon in the game shouldn't be able to kill every single build in the game. That would just be very, very wrong if that was the thing. If you're gonna play against a guy with 4 hovers at 15k power score, then I'll guarantee you that you can kill that guy. Just don't play incinerators and you'll be fine. And if you feel like they're running away from you, the weapon is at flaw or the build. Half weapons are useless against hovers. That's also just not true, dude. I mean, I'm fine with you guys making like arguments and shit, but let's. I mean, I'm trying my best here to just see it from both sides, but if it's just about my weapon can't kill hovers, nerf them, then it's hard to argue or have a discussion about things like this, dudes. Hermit test. Why hermit test? They haven't changed them. So. Hovers are hard to use. Yes, they are. Which is also why some people, when they finally master them, then they look like they're OP as shit, because, you know, those guys will probably send you flying and go all over the place and you'll be frustrated about it. But I feel like if something is high skill, then the reward should also be high. Because I fully agree, hovers are really, really, really good. And really, really hard to play, but just because of that, I don't feel like you should hurt them because of that. Okay. Love it how they can still do that. They used to flip easier, didn't they? Might just be the build. This turning radius is insane. So I think the obvious thing is to ask if, with the reduction to the, let's just see, what did they do to the Omni wheels again? 16% power consumption instead of an improved surface grip, so you don't spin around as easily anymore. Just take away all of those on this build, then Omni, where are you? I guess we have to activate a couple of these. We are. Did I just see a hover on this still? I think I did. I think I would probably go at most 6 Omnis. This maybe. You think hovers, people will be changing from hovers? I mean, oh my god. Dude, that is actually kind of scary. Not gonna lie. I could see myself running this, to be honest. What happens if you big ram? I think that's why they didn't mention the big ram, because the big ram is just going to be big ram height. Straining? Gotta work with me here, Neil. No foreign English speaker, you know I don't understand shit like that. Griffin's skull because now the beholder has more power than oh, it's strafing. Well, technically I'm strafing right now. So it's, I guess it's all right, chat. Oh, I don't know, dudes. I honestly feel like this is more pleasant right now. I need to try this in Clan Wars for sure. The thing that is still gonna be less good with this compared to other stuff is the fact that you can't turn your side to people as effectively as you can with hovers. You know? Let's see. Omni, whoops. Okay, so for a build like this, I think I would put 5 wheels on or something like that. Oh wait, okay, we gotta do it the other way around. Okay, 4 is actually enough. Oh god, we still have a hover on here. Where is it? There it is. We still have 2 hovers on here. Is actually still enough. Oh shit. Wait, this might be the new meta here. Look at the turning. I don't know. Imagine if you see something come rolling down the wasteland in this, and the dude just does a drive-by on his side here, just moving, and he just shoots you, pops you, and runs away. I feel like the fear factor in that alone is going to be enough for people to just SD. Of course, this would need some rework. This is just my hover, like, with Omni wheels on it, so you can improve this even more. But imagine the juking that you can pull if you come running down the battlefield like this. People won't be able to hit you. Like, there's no way you're gonna get hit if you run down like this. This is insane. They don't seem that controllable. Nah, that's probably also the only critique I have. And regardless of how many wheels you put on a hover, it's just gonna get slammed to the ground now, so it doesn't matter. This build is so freaking wonky. I've never seen anything like it. I love the little sort of jumps from side to side it makes. It's not even turning because the build lifts up a bit. You see that? It's just making small zigzag strafes on here. I love that. That's gonna be such a dope technique. That's pretty funny. Wonder if something like the Master Gamer here is gonna be legit with that. This is one of my most proud creations at all. It's so fun to play, dudes. What? Something's not symmetrical. Oh. It's this frame right there. We just need the controls right here. Feels quite a lot like when it had small tracks on here. Actually feels identical to when I had small tracks on here. With this like turning from side to side and stuff. Solid turning. Nice. The only difference is that this is not small tracks, so we can strafe here. Which is kind of dope. Oh shit. So I'm wondering if what you really want to do is just the super wide build. You see the wide wheelbase here compared to, if you look at it from this profile, it's narrower than it is here. And that really gives us that extra edge when it comes to turning. You see how quickly this turns? That's because the wheelbase is. I wonder if you could pull this off. But the thing is, do remember that there's only 4 wheels on here right now, so we probably would want ideally to have a 5th wheel on this to make sure that it don't get destroyed immediately. And I think getting a 5th Omni wheel on here would be, because I wouldn't want to put it there. I would likely want to put it here. And get it even further in, and that's just gonna leave the cabin super exposed here. See that? Then we would need to armor that up a little bit more. I guess we could do that actually. Let's just try. Let's just try quickly just building this somewhat what I would do with it if this was an actual gamer build. Great. Is there no way at all? Okay, there's one way. It's just not really gonna prove very useful. Guess it would be something like this then. And we still have a little bit of mass left. I just want to see how it responds if this was actually a build. And then we still had the vial because we didn't use that anyway, right? Question is just, where is it? Wouldn't be able to. Oh. Nope. Something 2x4 heavy, please. Or something like this, maybe. likely gonna take away both of those if you get shot there. That's way too much mass. We only have 90 something to work with. So if we go here, it's also too much. I don't know. Let's just say we wanted to put that there. Oh Jesus, we can't even do that because that's also too thick. Say we want to put that there. Then guns are still fine. This is 5 wheels. It's still feeling pretty good. But yeah, then you have the durability as well, which is a bit of an issue with these. But tracks is also not the highest of durability. And I feel like as long as you can just keep your wheels from getting popped in one shot, which this should, unless the scope gets like a lucky hit, because you have those. Yeah, I think we have like 7 blocks out there. Or maybe not entirely. What are you going to do about porks though? Do you mean for with this build, or I just want to try how this isn't battle. Yeah, I was also hoping that we would get a change to the wedges somewhat soon. Wait, why are people leaving? Don't they know that this is the only map? Dominic, you bloody thing, don't just push in here. Nice. Hovers just don't even hover anymore. They do. If you don't put wheels on them. I could see myself play this though. I kind of like this. Turning is nice. The fact that we have the strafing, which we don't on... Oh gosh, there's the Kaiju. And what is that thing? It's a freaking... I hate bots and the fact that they just freaking don't care about you. There we are. All right. Leave me alone. Mr. Spark build. There we are. So who's gonna... Oh, there's the Kaiju. Hit him up quite all right. Oh. See, the build is holding up over. Oh shit, the Kaiju's still not off. There we are, Masto Gaming dudes. Woo. So, we haven't lost a single wheel so far. That's kind of neat. That's a big fat spider. Oh, he's aiming for pole down there. Yeah, repair is only for test servers. He's just gonna run straight down into the hole now, ain't he? No. Oops. Well. Wish we had a voice for console. I mean, the game is the same on console. Alright. Take that with a grain of salt, but the basic patches coming out is the same for both. Also just gonna be right back real quick, chat. Alright, I'm back. Is this bot trying to kill me? But no, seriously. Omnis, they do feel kind of dope. And at least for this build that was on small tracks, I can just show you the comparison. Okay, so this is the current build. See how it's... Just get a feel of, I'm just gonna go around this and go back to the garage. You see kind of how we're turning and stuff? We are. And then maybe just do a lap around this house because it's a tight turn. We can easily do. Then we're gonna try the tracked version of it. So acceleration looks somewhat identical. But you see how the turning is pretty much identical too? The same tight turn. I think the Omni wheels actually has a tiny bit more of a tight turning radius, but let's see. Durability 300, mass 285, power minus 12%, and 935. Probably gonna have to look at that a couple of times before we get it. Oh, they're right next to each other. So it's 1300 tonnage for 4% extra power drain. You don't get any perks as such here. But you do get 60 more durability. I mean, you can get everything with the blueprint, and there's also time to level up further after. It's not like you have to play every single day. You're gonna get there. I can't really test the cap cane too much because it's the test server, so we would need someone who would actually get cap caned. I think the closest we can probably do is... Why'd they nerf the favorite? It's not really nerfs to the favorite. I think there's gonna be a fine balance between... What if we just lay down the cap cane and then block it? Okay, it's straight up just not shooting. Okay, there it is. You just have to put it down closer too. So let's listen to the sound of it. That's one. That's once every other second. Oops. See what happens if you shoot it after. 2 seconds isn't a nerf from 3 seconds, but you also have to drive 20% shorter distance, so you also get the perk more often. So they take from something from one end and they give it in the other end. Okay, if you lose the pot, it still shoots pretty much immediately. I have no idea if this is always the way it's been, so don't... Oh. Oops. But I mean, speaking of the favorite here, it's the same... If they were to nerf the damage on the Mastos by 10%, but they increased or reduced the reload time by 20%, would the gun be nerfed or buffed then? But from 3 to 2 seconds is not 50% reduction. But besides that, the perk is super strong right now with shotguns, especially if you don't run any radiators with them. So that's the most of the biggest argument for why they have been changing that. You can find the patch notes here, by the way. But if you don't have any other questions as of right now, chat, I think we're slowly gonna round off the stream here. Nasty Lies, thank you so much for following on Twitch. Much appreciated. If any else of you guys want to do that, then you can find the link to Twitch right there. It should pop up any second now. I appreciate that, Sax. But thank you so much for being here, everybody. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later on what you think about all of this. Thank you so much for taking part in the stream, everybody, and the people who voiced their opinions today. It's always nice to hear what you guys think about these changes. All right. Later, dudes. Also, if you have any questions that you didn't get answered here, you can always come onto the Discord. I think the bot is dead, so it's good that we have Sex here to pull that bot work. Later.